Hey there, today I thought I would talk to you about what is the optimum growth trajectory for your practice. In other words, how fast do you want to grow? Hi, Janice Wheeler, President of the Art of Management, and we've been working with healthcare professionals for many years, over 3 decades, helping them grow their practices. So today, that's what my topic is. It's going to be about growing your practice. And there are a bunch of reasons why practices don't grow, as we know from working with close to 2,000 healthcare professionals growing their practices. I've made a list of them, and I thought you might like to hear and sort of think, are any of these true for you in your practice? So here you go. I'm going to actually read them. And the first one is your location may be too small to allow a bigger flow of new patients. Some of my clients have practices that are very tiny and they need to expand it. There's no way around it. But it's like, well, how do you do that? Do you buy a new location? Do you add on more space to your practice building if you own it? Is there another space in the building where you are if you don't own it? You know, that kind of thing. There's a lot of different solutions for that. Another barrier to your growth could be that you're overbooked with no physical room to add an associate to help out. So you yourself have gotten so busy, it's gone beyond what you're comfortable doing. You've got patients on a waiting list and you don't know what to do about it because there's no space to add an associate. You're already open 6 days a week and so on, but there are solutions for it. We have fixed those. Number 3, you're leasing your premises and have years left on it, so you can't move into bigger premises and you're out of space. Well, I would say check with your lawyer first because leases often can be broken. Just get some advice first. Then the second thing I would do would be to check with your landlord once you know what your lawyer has to say. If he says no, it's ironclad, then check with your landlord and say, hey, you know, I don't have enough space to practice anymore. Is there any way you can let me out of my lease? If that's what you want. Or maybe there's space in the building that you could move to. And you could say to him, if anything comes available, I'd like to put a right of first refusal on it. That's a legal document you can get your lawyer to make. Or maybe the landlord has a copy already in his possession and you just have to fill it in and sign it so that if anything comes available in the building, you can be the first person. You have to be the first person that the landlord offers it to. So you never know. Here's another one. You need a bigger patient flow, but your digital marketing company is not doing their job very well. Well, you know what to do about that. Get a new one. We have been doing a lot of work with our clients on that because it's part of our job when we're consulting is to make sure that the correct amount of social media and the right content in it is written, because these social media companies are not trained on healthcare professionals and what you're allowed to say, what you should say, what you shouldn't say, how to present yourself, all of those things. So that's number 4. Number 5, your front desk staff have not had one-on-one training on converting shoppers on the phone to butts in your chairs. So they are losing some of these for you. And I don't know if you know this, but every new patient will spend an average of somewhere between $2,500 to $3,500, depending on what profession you are, during their stay with you. So every time they lose a shopper, which studies have shown, many studies have done this on healthcare professionals, receptionists lose 2 to 5 shoppers every single week. They don't see them as a shopper. They don't think it's possible to close them. They have no sales training. And so what happens? They just lose them. They answer the person's questions and would you like an appointment? And those are all the wrong things they should have done. So there's special ways to handle that. Number 6, your scheduling is not efficient. Oh my gosh, have we ever seen this? Almost every practice we work with, we look at how are the staff scheduling you? Are they leaving holes throughout the day? Like one patient schedules from 12 till 12:40 and they schedule the next one to start at 1. Well, there's a 20-minute gap. And yeah, I know you can go get a coffee, you can go to the washroom, you know, that sort of thing, but that is not an ideal day if you have these little tiny holes where you can't get anything meaningful done in those spots. So you want to have it tight and have them book the patients tightly throughout the day. You can always, by the way, leave a little spot in the morning, 15 minutes or so, and one in the afternoon for emergency consultations. All right. So next one, you have too many cancellations or no-shows, leaving gaps in your day with no time to fill them, and an ineffective cancellation policy. I can't even tell you how many doctors we've had to fix that with, because cancellations can be handled and shortlists can be made, which is how you fill in those last minute ones, maybe not the day of, although I have some clients that have receptionists that are awesome at that. So it is possible to fill in if you've got really good shortlists and you've got a patient who lives nearby and her appointment is until for 2 more weeks. But if you call her, she'll come in today and get it done. So the better your staff are at this, the better your practice is going to grow. Another one, too many one-time only or occasional patients who don't come regularly. Again, this is staff are not trained in sales skills, so they don't know how to get those people back. They try, and I'm not hitting on your staff at all. Honestly, they're there doing a best job they know how. All we want to do is give them some sales training so that they have the ability to handle people better on the phones. Number 9, doctors seeing too many patients they don't like. So maybe you're seeing too many people you don't like, and then you start wanting not to practice because you just go home and you have a terrible evening and maybe a terrible week because you had 4 or 5 patients this week that you hated. Well, guess what? You're allowed to dismiss patients. You know, if you have good enough marketing going on that you're driving in new patients, lose a couple if they really make you unhappy, because that prevents you from growing. If you don't like going into work every day, it can become itself a reason why your practice does not grow. Sometimes the staff are too busy. They feel they're too busy or busy enough, and they don't want the practice to grow. Watch out for that one. Some staff are, I wouldn't say lazy, but they have a certain way of doing things. And if it isn't done that way, and if you push them too hard, they go backwards. And that's the wrong person for your front desk or any position in your practice if that's happening. They're not on your team to grow the practice and treat lots of people. So, no bonus system to incentivize the team to want to grow the practice some more. This is actually something that is easily fixed with a good bonus system. There are a lot of bad ones. We've seen a lot of bad ones, and you need to manage by statistics on a weekly and monthly basis so that the staff are encouraged by their production to earn their bonuses. And the next one is lack of parking spaces. Now, I'm just throwing this one in because it's actually happened twice now. We have one client for about 3 years. We've been working on helping him find a parking place somewhere near his practice because they're out of space. There's already 3 dentists, and they have a waiting list of 500 people, and they can't get them in because they need a 4th dentist. And even if they got one, which they want to do, there's no space to park. And the city has, the little town that they're in, I shouldn't say city, it's a town, has a bylaw that they can't park on the street. So we have solved it. They bought the property, half of the property beside them. The owner was willing to do this. They have agreed to move his house over to the other half. And yay, they have a parking lot. They're just fixing it right now. So putting gravel down for the winter, and next spring they'll put in a proper paved parking lot. But in the meantime, we can now add that 4th healthcare professional. Take care of those 500 people who are waiting to see them. So, and then there's another one that I just talked to, and she's got nowhere to grow her practice except out back of the building. She could add on to the building she owns, but then it would take up parking lot. But behind their parking lot is a church parking lot, and they don't need all of it, so they're in negotiations. Anyway, there's always a solution. That's the message of my thing today. My talk is there is no problem to your growth that we can't solve. Competition is set up in your area. That's number 13. Well, your marketing needs to improve in order to outmarket them. That's all we have to say. It's been handled every single time. And if your practice is so great and the patients love your staff, then they are going to stay loyal to your practice. They're going to tell other people about you. We don't know how good the other guy is going to be or girl that takes the other practice. That's your competition now, but you can be the best in town. So don't worry about it. Just mark it and make sure your staff are as trained as they can be on being angels at the front desk that everybody loves. And the last one was you as the owner or practitioner are working too many hours and losing family time. And so you're resisting growth because that would give up more family time. And that doesn't have to be the case at all. There are so many ways to solve this. So look for some solutions to that. See us if you want some. And let's change that growth trajectory to going steeply up. How about that? And if you want some help, give us a call. And if you like the video, share it with some friends, give me a like, and watch out for more. Subscribe to our channel. Okay, thanks. Bye.
To get your practice analyzed, contact the Art of Management at 416-466-6217.